be ready defensively just in case.
And the Flames have two great weapons up high in Fleury and Sullivan. And here's Theo Fleury now to center as Ozolinsh gets back. Rathje there too as it's deflected away from Fleury, and Rathje now deep for the Sharks. Janney leaves it for Ozolinsh. Throws it across back for Janney. Janney now to Dahlin. Dahlin trying to go around Kesmer. Dodge! And he put it up high, and the light came on, but there's no goal. The goal judge on the trigger there flipped the switch.
Quick finger.
As the Sharks did not score. Play continues right on. There was no whistle. Here's Janney again.
Referee was right there too, so he just quickly gave the goal judge a look and waved it off.
Playoff nerves. He'll be all right after the first goal is scored. Here's Stern, and it's taken away from him by Peterson. Musil throws it at the net. Stern crashing into Herbe. Peterson tossing him aside as Whitney comes back the other way with Larionov and Makarov. Dahlin will neutralize Whitney as the puck rolls to Kidd.
51 seconds left in the penalty to Steve Chiasson. 3 shots on goal for the Sharks so far as well, Ray Whitney breaking down that end and trying to go one-on-one on the defenseman. Here you're going to see Dahlin with a great. Here's that play right there, and there's the shot, and clearly that one hit the side of the net. The red light goes on, but clearly you could see that that one did not go in. Here's see the side there, right to the right, and I don't know what that goal judge was thinking. I guess he's got an itchy finger tonight.
Just doing his job, and sometimes you try to react obviously quickly if you can. And
those guys are from Anaheim. Those goal judges tonight. We should say that in the playoffs they don't have the home down.
Here's Friesen throwing it back to the point for Peterson. Larionov one times it wide, comes off the boards. Whitney occupied by Dahl, and now it's Makarov. Still 35 on the power play. Sergei sends it along the wing. Friesen lost it in his skates. Whitney gets it behind the net. Ray Whitney looking for help in the slot. Nobody home. Back to Peterson. Larionov's one-timer blocked by Titov, and he'll clear it.
Well, that's the idea. A couple of 3 passes and then shoot the puck on the net. But Larionov lets it go blocked and sent down. 10 seconds left to go in the penalty.
Fleury broke it up. Now the Sharks have it again. Falloon trying to gain possession. Risky pass intercepted. Here's Fleury with Otto. Fleury tripped up by Makarov. Ozolinsh also held up. Here's Friesen all alone now with help from Larionov, but it's played to Otto. And Theron Fleury without a stick just bats it down the ice.
Well, he took a swipe at the Shark player. Actually broke his stick on the play. And I don't know. You break your stick by hitting the guy across the legs. To me, that could be a penalty.
Our play is over as Kidd gets a touch of it. Now Housley up the wing. Nylander hammered by Moore. And Jason Moore with 2 big hits in the period. Here's Nieuwendyk. He still got it in the crease. And Herbe recovered to sweep it clear. Now Nylander on the far side. Nieuwendyk goes to the front of the net. The pass is there. And a penalty as the Sharks had no choice there but to knock down Joe Nieuwendyk. Jim Kite's going to go, but it's probably a good penalty to take. We'll be right back. Of 17 on the power play are Calgary Sharks penalty killing. Well, 6th overall in the group of 16 in the postseason. Housley shot tipped, but Herbe made the stop, and it's cleared out. Zalapski back with Baker up high on the forecheck. Miller was just behind him. They peel back now into the neutral zone. No score here in the first period of Game 4. The series moves back to Calgary after this one. Theo Fleury at the point, advancing it up for Nieuwendyk. He couldn't control. Reichel plays it into Rathje. Mike Rathje, nice job, plays it to Ozolinsh, and it's swept clear by Jamie Baker.
Good defensive play by Mike Rathje. Gets on those puck carriers real quick. He's so big, it's tough to get around him, and uses his strength, and the Sharks able to dump it down.
Zalapski left it at the point, but Titov was heading back to defend. Now here's Nylander. Moore again with the big hit. Housley holds it in. Here's Zalapski, and he plays it through the slot. Titov on the far wing to the side. This is Nylander, gives it back. Titov looks to the side. Herbe made the stop. Here's Fleury, and Herbe got a piece of it. Nylander back to the point. Housley tees it up. Shot save, rebound, saved by Herbe. Another chance. They score. Theo Fleury finally, as Herbe did all he could, gets a third chance and makes it 1-0. Scored first. 1-0 Calgary on Fleury's second from Nylander and Housley at 9:08. Full marks to Herbe. He made a couple of big stops on that sequence, but the penalty kill group just finally succumbed to the pressures of Calgary.
That was the guy they were looking for, was Fleury. He was out far enough, and they were constantly looking to give him that one pass so he could one-time it.
Whitney couldn't reach that one. He's bumped. Now Larionov at the far boards. Chason backs into him, falls on the puck. Here it comes loose to Whitney. He gives to Larionov, gets it back for Whitney in the slot. Shot it right to the net, and Kidd may have gotten a piece of that. Whitney trying to pick that far side. Here's Chason, 3-on-2. Save, and the rebound behind the net as Cruz had a good look down the left side, and Herbe with a huge save there. And Herbe's made about 2 or 3 big ones already. This puck is into the Calgary bench, stops the clock with exactly half the period gone.
Well, a couple of good scoring opportunities at both ends. Calgary already 11 shots on goal, and a big save by Arturs Herbe as he stands tall in that net, gets that pad out on that one. At the other end, Ray Whitney had a golden opportunity, had enough time. I think he aimed it a little bit for the upper corner, and I don't know whether Kidd got a piece of it or he shot it wide, but both these goalkeepers have had some anxious moments so far in this first period.
Calgary had 8 shots on their power play, and they scored on the 8th. Boy, you figure if you stop 7 on a power play, you've killed the power play successfully, but not in that circumstance. Flames up 1-0 as Herbe was pulled the earliest in his career professionally in Game 3. Flames went up 4-1 when Arturs said goodnight. That was at the 7:15 mark of the first on Thursday. Here comes Calgary as Jim Kite trying to tie up Kissio at the side. Got it away from him. And Kevin Miller now up the left side for Friesen. Friesen moving it on Housley. Wrist shot saved by Kidd. They smothered the rebound there as both Dahlin and Miller were coming in hard for a rebound.
Jeff Friesen has such good speed, but he's up against Phil Housley. He's an experienced defenseman. When Friesen's going to go wide like that, Kevin Miller and Ulf Dahlin are on the ice. Those guys got to put their heads down and go as hard as they can to the front of the net, because as on that play, Friesen shoots the puck. Kidd makes the save, but he just drops on it. There's no Sharks inside of him.
And there's referee Rob Schick with a splint on his left hand. Obviously broken and
leaving the arena.
Coming
Somebody
back.
went after him or what?
He's playing hurt. It's playoff time.
Tape an aspirin to it and get out there.
Suck it up, even if you're the referee. Well, the shot totals 11-4. 8 coming on that Calgary power play. And now Chason ahead for Theron Fleury. Gloved down by Janney. Chason with it again. And he'll just throw it into an open spot on the far side. If we were keeping track of hits, Ray Moore would have 3 quality hits right now. He talked about the necessity for physical play in the first period, and he has offered that and more so far here with 9:09 left in the opening period. Pat Falloon had his moments in this series so far.
He got a goal. Fleury's got the only goal of this game so far. He was a +6 in the game here the other night. That'll be 2 goals, 5 assists. He's got 7 points on this playoff series so far.
The 5 assists ties him with Phil Housley for the postseason lead. 12 shots, being all shooters. Here's Nieuwendyk. Bears down, gets the wrist shot away, turned aside. Now Janney trying to chip it up the wing. Gets a second chance now behind the net, and Jason Moore will skate it out. Here's Janney, takes it on the backhand, crossing the blue line. Feed for Falloon. Just a little late. Sharks keep it going. Baker to Janney. Janney back to Baker. Jamie Baker around the net. Centered for Falloon. He couldn't find the handle. There was a little traffic there, and Falloon just couldn't get the stick on the puck.
Well, you know, you got your stick on the ice, and that thing went between his legs, so that's a difficult thing to get. You got to use your skates on a situation like that.
Kesmer slaps it in from the neutral zone. Nylander chasing, but Kite has him tied up. Here's Sandis Ozolinsh. Overskated it. Now trying to recover with Titov back there pressuring him. Larionov in to help bail him out. Reichel dumps it back behind the net. Here's Titov. And Kite, good job there to use his body to block Titov off. Here's Titov from the boards trying to shovel it to the slot. And Kite using that big frame. He's containing Titov for now, holding him on the boards. Nylander draws it off the boards. Larionov trying to tie him up from behind. Sharks doing some hard defensive work here, but they can't get the turnover. Here's Kesmer. Looks to the middle. Instead drops it behind the net. Titov out of the corner. Checked by Kite. Calgary just with all kinds of time of possession here, but not really doing anything dangerous yet. Titov as Kite's on top of him. Ozolinsh plays it up the wing. Whitney turns away, and the Sharks get it out, but tip it right back.
Boy, they were doing a lot of chasing. That must have been 30 seconds inside the Sharks zone, and playing that much time and you're in. Makes your defenseman awfully tired.
Well, that whole line worked hard. Larionov was trying to tie up Nylander and had his hands full with the big forward. It's 1-0 Calgary, game 4 of the first round. We'll be back. Flames with a 1-0 lead. Face-off in the Sharks zone. 6:48 to go, first period. Frank Musil tees it up. This shot trickles toward the goal. Swept clear by Rafchi, but Kennedy moves to the puck. Auto. Bell now gets up out of the corner, tied up by Rafchi. That's a good matchup. Rafchi kicks it loose, and now it comes through to Kevin Miller. He tried to feed Dahlin, but mishandled the puck. Now flips it up high, and Frank Musil brings it back down.
Flames are just dumping and chasing and just taking a lot out of the Sharks. Sharks got to start playing a little bit more of this hockey game in the Calgary Flames zone.
Here's Jay Moore leading the attack. Broken up by Chason. Dahlin trying to control it. Gives for Kevin Miller. Kissio tosses him down. Penalty to Calgary. Ellie Kissio getting a little too excited, and he'll get called for the hold there, and the Sharks will go back to the power play.
When we talk about, driving and working hard in the corners, and you do things like this, you're going to draw penalties, and Kevin Miller tries the old twist and go around. Kelly Kissio may have had a step on him, and so Kissio just reached out and pulled him down, but that's what the Sharks got to be. More aggressive offensively, hungry when they get inside the Calgary Flames zone. The Sharks going to go to work here on their second power play of the game.
A full house here, and they were fired up before this game, and well, I guess they had it saved up because there wasn't a whole lot to cheer about on Thursday night. So these fans are just aching for an opportunity to release. It's been, well, a while since they've had the chance. Last year's playoffs. Larionov. Chason is behind Kidd, and he'll clear it out across the line.
Played almost 15 minutes of this first period, Randy, and I don't think the Sharks have tested Trevor Kidd once in this game. He's only got 4 shots directed at him so far.
Their best chance was probably Dahlin walking in and trying to roof it, only to hit the side of the net. Larionov drops it back. Makarov had it broken up by Zalapsky. Held in at the point. Here's Larionov. Back for Makarov. Rafchi! And that goes high. Larionov now moves to the point. Makarov to the other side of the ice. Fleury pressuring Rafchi. Mike tried to send it to the corner. It deflected off Fleury's stick high, and now it's cleared out.
And Ray Whitney is out there, and Ray's good outside, deacon and diving, but to stand in front of the net, he takes a pounding out there. So Sharks are going to have to put a little bit of size there in front of Kidd.
Sharks turn it over. Joel Otto has shot Irbe the save. Rafchi trying to occupy Otto. No easy task. Rafchi now getting it over to Ray Whitney. 40 seconds to go on the power play. Here's Dahlin to center with Janney. Janney reaching out for it, couldn't get it, now has it. To the middle, and Kevin Miller had skated by it. Ronnie Stern just dumps it in, and there's 25 seconds left in the Sharks power play. And they have yet to really get it set up. Ozolinsh drops it back for Peterson. Here's Peterson, takes the blue line. Dahlin turning, trying to find it. When you can't, you tie up the man there, and he did, but the Flames were able to clear it out.
shots on goal. About one, I think Rathje had one, and it went about 6 feet wide of the net.
Ozelin shot, and this one fooled Kidd, but he does react in time to get it off his chest and down into the glove, and that'll do it for the Sharks power play. Still 1-0 Flames.
Force you to stay.
Could handle both for tonight, huh? Or I could call the play-by-play from here off the jungle.
Let's get a little cartoon, cardboard figure of you next to me.
Stick some hair on it. Here's Falloon. Kearney with the point. Gives up the wing for Baker. Baker out of the corner. Kennedy this time in that check. Here's Tansel. To Kite. Shot save. Rebound. Loose in front. Baker was swinging away. Kennedy trying to clear it out. Sharks hold it in. Kite sends it around the board. Falloon. Checked by Kesman. Now in the corner. It comes free to Baker. And now it's tied up as Kennedy is down there on top of Tansel. Baker saying something to Housley as the whistle blows. Everyone will separate here. Now there's the new daddy number 2 for the San Jose Sharks, Chris Tansel, whose lovely wife Jill gave birth to their second child yesterday, and it is a boy.
John Christopher Tansel. Here's the action in front of the net as Jim Kite lets the shot go, and there's Baker, Falloon looking around, and see the quick forecheck. The puck is loose. Defenseman taking it in the corner. Miller jumps right in there to forecheck, and the play continues on. Here's a look at it from another angle. Kite up high. Kidd was able to get a piece of that one, and the defenseman got in there and steered it to the corner before any of the Sharks could get their stick on it.
There's Jamie Baker, a huge game 1 in this series. This guy has huge playoff games for the Sharks. That's what he does. 2 goals so far in the series for number 13. This is Charlie Zalewski. Kevin Miller gets a piece of him. Kite from the point. This one bouncing to the side. Miller centers it. Falloon couldn't get good wood, and now the Flames will come back out. Nylander. He's not going to sneak by Jim Kite. Lewandijk falling as he goes to the puck. He's on top of it, and they'll quickly blow the whistle.
You see what Jim Kite does is he takes the puck carrier and takes him into the boards and stays with him, doesn't release. And puck Ryan Lewis, Joe Nieuwendyk, and on the ice, everybody pays attention when he's out there. You can see Jamie Baker looking around where he was, and finally the puck is frozen and by the Flame, and it comes outside the blue line.
Coming up in the intermission, analysis with Brian and Jim back in our studios. We'll visit with the Sharks' Steen Lombardi live here at San Jose Arena. Check the out-of-town scoreboard, as well as highlights here of period 1 in Game 4, with Game 5 set for Monday back in the Great White North. Good job by Jay Moore on Steve Chason. Moore's played a solid period on defense for the Sharks. 2:35 left to go here in the first, with Calgary up 1-0.
They were giving $10 a hit. Boy, I'll tell you, Jay Moore would have a couple of $100 in his pocket at the end of this period.
He'd have enough to go out for dinner in Calgary.
Yeah, probably only taking himself.
Here's Zalewski. They'll fire it in as he crosses center ice. Rathje back. Nylander quick to pressure, but it comes instead to Nieuwendyk. He throws it behind the net. Guess who's there? Fleury. Centered off a skate. Another centering pass. Nieuwendyk missed the open side. Fleury doing all kinds of damage. Rathje with no stick, trying to contain it. Here's Fleury, but a penalty coming up to the Sharks as Whitney touches it. Kidd was already out of the net for an extra skater. Sharks are going to go to the penalty box here, and Theron Fleury has a knack for attracting penalties, doesn't he?
Well, you know, when you got Nieuwendyk and Fleury on the ice and a guy loses his stick, well, their eyes just light up. They know that they got one guy at a disadvantage, and Kevin Constantine's wondering what this penalty is for, and the gate is open over to the San Jose Shark bench, and penalty bench that is, and I think it was Mike Rathje without the stick may have just roughed up Fleury a little bit, and
that's the call, roughing, and Constantine obviously does not agree with Rob Schick.
You know, Rathje had lost the stick, so he obviously trying to stay in the game, and you know, you got to use your arms in a situation like that, and he's got such great strength. And here he's going to, I think it's going to happen right here. See, there's Fleury, no stick, and here comes Rathje right there, just pushes him from behind, and Fleury goes down, and that was the reason for the call. Here comes the good hit by Jason Moore. Now look at this. Jason Moore has stood up a couple of guys in this period so far and knocked him going. And there's Jay Moore right in, picks him up, throws him down, and believe me, Chason felt that one.
Calgary with a huge power play first time out, scored on their 8th shot. Off the glass it comes down. Nieuwendyk tossing it toward the net. This is Sandis Ozolinsh on the intercept, and now Miller will ice it.
This is awfully important. 1:30 left in this period. Important that the Sharks go in here just down the 1 goal.
Nieuwendyk with Reichel on his right. This is Robert Reichel chasing to the corner, overskated it. Now Fleury gets to it, sends it up to Zarley Zalapski. Bouncer, Nieuwendyk. Trying to get it to the other side. Housley sends it to Zalapski. In front it comes, and off Ozolin's stick to the corner. And Sandis will send it up into the 3rd row behind the Calgary bench. 1:04 left in the period. 1:11 left in the power play.
That was a nice play by Sandis Ozolinsh. She got his stick on the ice. A little pushing and shoving there. Jim Kite and Joe Nieuwendyk exchanging a few words, but Ozolinsh does a good defensive play by getting a hold of that puck, taking it long, but I know he didn't want to get that puck up and over the glass because that faceoff stays inside with 1:04 left here in the period.
Well, you know, you talk about the highs and lows. Ozolinsh with the 2 goals in game 2. I mean, he was so pleased to finally get a playoff goal. He didn't score a goal last year, although he had a bunch of assists.
Well, you're going to see the action on this power play, and that good defensive play by Sandis Ozolinsh. Got in between, made the stop, and then he heads over to the corner and drills the puck, but unfortunately the puck went over the boards and the faceoffs inside the Shark zone.
Ozolinsh, along with virtually every Shark, struggled Thursday. There wasn't anybody who was excluded from that. But Jamie Baker saying he'd never seen a game quite, or played in a game like that. I'm not sure I've ever seen one quite like that. Certainly not in the playoffs. Here's Housley as the power play continues for Calgary. Fleury trying to center it. Given a shove by Kite, and he goes into the boards behind the net. Sharks clear out.
That's what you got to do in every opportunity. There's the time left in the period. Every time Fleury is near the puck or skates away from it, or Nieuwendyk, you got to take a piece off him. Throw them off their game.
Zalapski sending it in. Jay Moore back there. Nieuwendyk jostling with him, but the Sharks are going to get out of trouble here. Friesen with the puck down the left side, and he just shot it wide. Under 10 seconds left now in the period. One last rush here for the Flames on the power play. That one bounced off Tansel's skate. Right back to Fleury. He'll slap it down, and that'll do it for the opening period.
But if he jumps on and the puck is in either the neutral zone or his own zone, they tell Mike Rasty what position he should take when he gets out on the ice.
And he's out on the ice.
And he heads to the bench. And the Sharks send out Ulf Dahlin.
That's the plan. Executed before our very eyes.
Communication.
Jim Kite holding it along the near side boards, but it comes to Steve Chason. He'll toss it up for Cruz. Paul Cruz with a couple of goals in this series. Coming in, Herbe holding his ground. The net comes off just as Zalapski was going to unload with a shot. Well, Paul Cruz has certainly had some success crashing the net, but Jim Kite crashed along with him.
Well, Cruz, you know, we go wide and maybe even get the step. You're going to get a good scoring opportunity. If not, maybe the defenseman will pull you down and you can draw a penalty. But there's Cruz going wide, and Jim Kite just stays with him, pushes him away, does not allow him to get any good shot on the goal. And it was Kite, I believe, was pushed by Cruz, and he went barreling into the net. And because of that push by the Calgary player, that faceoff will come outside the Sharks' blue line.
Paul Cruz had the opening goal in game 1 and the opening goal in game 3. Game 1 turned out all right for the Sharks. Game 3 you know about, as Joel Otto stands in and he wins the draw against Dahlin. Back to Zalapski, who floats it into the Shark zone. Herbe out of the crease, fires it around the boards for Kevin Miller. He's bumped by Cruz, held in and tipped in front by Otto. Herbe makes the stop and sends it to the corner. Flames unable to hold it in as Dahlin now will bring it out and up for Miller. He stepped on the puck. Zalapski playing him to the boards, and Chason will gather the loose puck up behind Trevor Kidd. Held in by Peterson, shot, and Kidd's got it. Miller was looking for it to drop. Friesen was in the neighborhood, but Trevor Kidd hung on.
Look where he is. He's got to be at least 10 to 12 feet out in front of that net. And as soon as Tom Peterson got that puck at the point and dipped his head and that stick came back, Trevor Kidd immediately knew that there was a shot coming, and he came way out of the net on that one. Take a look. Peterson with the shot. Look where Kidd is. Well, the radius of that crease is 6 feet, so he's about 4 feet up ahead of that, so he's at least 10 feet out of the net on that play.
You got to be sure-handed in that situation, or you are out in no man's land with a rebound. There's a shot by Peterson again. He's getting some opportunities. Baker deflected that with his glove. It went wide. Now flipped to the line, held in by Peterson for the moment, but the Flames will bring it out. Housley ahead for Fleury. Breakaway. He scores. Darren Fleury on the breakaway. Calgary 2-0.
Now Fleury just gets behind the two defensemen. Good pass coming through. Waiting is very close to being an offside, but it's been Fleury so far. Here's the backhand pass by Housley, and look at Fleury just straddle that line to stay onside. Now it's a one-on-one with Urbe, and as soon as Urbe goes down, he's got some room between those legs, and Fleury takes full advantage of that to get his second goal of this game, and it's Fleury 2 and the Sharks nothing.
What a pass by Phil Housley, backhanded. That's a lost art. Here's Fleury to the middle. Nieuwendyk shot stopped, rebound, still loose. Here's Fleury to Housley. He one-times it, but weakly. And now Peterson clears it out, and the Flames showing flashes there of how surgeon-like they can be. Here's Janney, and he misses by a good 3 feet as Housley out of the corner sends it to Nieuwendyk. Fleury's second of the game, third of the series. Housley and Nieuwendyk the assists on the goal at 119.
Every time he's on the ice, Fleury, he's always making things happen. As much as he's with the Calgary team and the enemy at this point, you got to respect him for the great player that he is.
No question about that. He has had a superb year, a superb career in the NHL. And now at playoff time, you look for players like that to rise. Sharks have to regroup here. They're down 2-0. Early second period. They need to find their rhythm because it has not found them so far in this game. There's Nylander tied up by Moore. Behind the net, Reichel with the puck. Lost it in the skates. Kite trying to play it up the boards. Drops down to Reichel. They'll send it across to an open spot on the boards. Here's Ray Whitney. Whitney to center, checked by Nylander, tried to dump it in the zone, but Nylander had peeled off and took the puck away just across the line.
Ray Whitney skating with the puck, 4 Flames back. Karl and Larionov a couple of steps behind. That line has to get in sync.
Moore up for Miller. And the ongoing quandary for Kevin Constantine continues to go on. Who do you put out against Fleury? And his group.
Just whoever's out on there obviously has to pay extra special attention.
Here's Fleury on a breakaway. Scores. A hat trick. 3-0 Calgary. Unbelievable.
He's wide on the wing and everybody gets caught into the middle. A defenseman gets caught. Fleury's on the outside and he is one-on-one on Urbe, and once again he's there. Here's Friesen, who's got pretty good speed trying to catch Fleury, but Fleury pulls ahead from him. The deke. Urbe goes for it, goes one way. This Fleury's going to deke to his left. Urbe goes for that one, and Fleury just pulls it to his forehand and puts it in to get the hat trick. There's the stick out, and there's Fleury making no mistake on that one. And what a performance by Darren Fleury. 3 goals in this hockey game so far.
And in hockey, it's called the natural hat trick. 3 consecutive goals by the same player with no one else scoring. And a timeout taken by the Sharks as they do not want what happened Thursday to occur again. And that's an important game get away from them. And right now, that is a possibility.
You know what you're thinking of, and you see the anger in Kevin Constantine. Here it is, a playoff game, and one of the best players for the Calgary Flames has 2 breakaways within a couple of minutes. That should not happen in playoff hockey.
There is Darren Fleury. 3 goals, 2 in this period, and the Sharks are getting it big time on the bench. As Kevin Constantine said, sometimes it's tough to come back and play in your own building because you get caught up in the same excitement the fans are in. Well, that might have been the case on Thursday. That can't be an excuse here tonight, because Thursday was supposed to have been a learning experience, and we're seeing a repeat in some cases, not as quickly, but boy.
Well, that was a composure timeout.
3-0.
And Jeff Friesen's going to get a penalty here. He just hauled off on Sheldon Kennedy as puck was dumped in. Friesen was going. Kennedy was with him, and he just grabbed him and threw him down, and Friesen goes to the box.
Well, he also said after game one, I'll take control, I'll lead this team, and to a large extent in the last game and a period and a little bit, he has been true to his word. 3-0 Calgary, 16:50 left here in the second period. Zalewski sending it in. This will come back around to the point. Kevin Miller gets in the way of Housley's pass. Now down low, Rafji, good position on Nylander. And Miller will clear it out and up for Baker, but it's turned back the other way by the Flames as Zalewski will get it from Nieuwendyk again. Here's Fleury. The blind backhand through the neutral zone to Housley. Housley fakes left, goes right for Nylander, but I think the initial fake on the pass faked out Nylander too. Here's Miller waiting on it, back for Ozolin. And Sandus sends it down the ice as the Flames have 1:05 left on their power play. Reichel across center ice, and they will call that a two-line pass.
58 seconds left to go in Jeff Friesen's penalty as you look at Robert Reichel, a goal and an assist so far for a couple of points. Chris Stansel out there on the penalty kill with Igor Larionov.
You know, Pete, remember the game in Calgary that the Sharks lost 8-3, and the Flames now in retrospect tipped their hat a little bit as to how explosive they can be. In that game that was 3-3 at the time, Calgary scored 3 goals in 1:06 and basically ended the game that way. That happened to some extent again on Thursday, and here in this period, the 2 quick goals by Fleury, and they have taken the crowd out for now. Whether or not they've decided this game remains to be seen, but they have that ability to stick the knife in and do the damage in a hurry. Got to be contained here with still almost 2 periods left. Kissio misfiring. Now Housley waits, and the shot will go up in the crowd with 31 left in the power play.
Anxious moments in front. Kissio has an opportunity. Phil Housley lets the shot go or fakes it. Igor Larionov goes down, and Housley goes around him, takes a little bit too much time to shoot it, and the Sharks able to get that stick in front of that and knock it up and over the glass. Well, Kelly Kissio is the former Shark, a couple of goals, 3 goals so far in this series, a couple the other night, and
former MVP of the Sharks.
Yeah, he only played a dozen regular season games, but during the season, Randy, he had 6 goals in 6 games, but he's been spending a lot of time in the medical room this year.
Yeah, he's had a couple of back-to-back seasons where it's been tough for him to stay healthy. But he's healthy at the right time, playoff time, as Zalewski breaks his stick on the shot. Here's Kevin Miller with it. Over to Ozolin and Baker. Ozolin to center, lost the handle, and Tedov will get it back. 18 to go in the Calgary power play. They lead 3-0. Fleury trying to send it across for Nieuwendyk, but a 2-line pass called against the Flames.
Well, he doesn't seem to get tired. Endless amount of energy. They're going to give him a little bit of a rest here with 15 seconds left to go in Jeff Friesen's penalty, but boy, what a game for him.
You know, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately in this regard, that postseason results don't count toward MVP voting, but Theoren Fleury, I thought, was a viable candidate this year in the Western Conference, certainly for MVP. And boy, if people had the advantage now of seeing him in this series, this would open up even more eyes.
And how do you think Calgary is going to feel? This guy's up for a contract this year, and he's not exactly the highest paid on this Calgary Flame team, so they're going to have to deal with him in the offseason.
There's a shot by Baker, and somewhere I'm imagining his agent just going into ecstasy with every goal scored.
Nice resume heading into the general manager's office.
Just add a 0 every time he scores. Kissio checked Hartl on the boards as Friesen picks up the loose puck. Power play's over as Jeff Friesen turns on the afterburners. Scores!
Jeff Friesen is one Shark who can bring these people out of their seats. Goes wide, and look at the great shot right there from a pretty bad angle, but what a shot and what determination by Jeff Friesen. He's wide on Steve Chason, and he only had one thing in mind, and that was to get a scoring opportunity right from that face-off spot. Look at that far side. Off the post and in. A great play and a great goal by Jeff Friesen. Here he comes down the center ice zone. He's got Chason with him. Going wide, going to the forehand right there. Look how he threads the needle, beating Trevor Kidd to the far side to put the Sharks up on the board.
3-1. And now it's Otto trying to center it. Rafchi blocked it. Puck still down low there in the Shark zone. Rafchi finds it in the crowd up for Whitney. Whitney gives it almost to Otto, but he fanned on it. Now Ozolin with Makarov trailing. Sandus going wide, trying to cut in. Frank Musil prevented him from doing so. Puck still in Ozolin's skates. They bang away in the corner. Schick is observing from in the face-off circle. The puck's still moving, so he's not blowing the whistle. And it comes out to Whitney. He's grabbed, then sent to the boards by Kevin Dahl. Dahl holding him there. Now Kennedy to Otto. And out to center ice is Paul Cruz with Rafchi back. And Cruz floats a harmless shot in. Urbe quickly headmans up to Whitney. Whitney gives it right back to Cruz. Here's Cruz to Kennedy. Saved by Urbe. Back in front he comes, and it just trickles wide of the post. And thankfully, Ozolin is able to get it out of trouble for now. An ill-advised pass by Ray Whitney almost turned into a nightmare. Arianov dumps it in as the Sharks will change up. 12:50 left here in this second period.
Ray Whitney with the puck, passing it back into his own zone. And he knows better than that, and I'm sure that won't happen again.
Janney plays this off the boards, held in by Nylander. To the corner goes Robert Reichel. He'll dump it toward the net, didn't go far, able to get the rebound himself, and reaching out is Baker to get it. Sharks 3-on-2. Janney, trouble with a bouncing pass. He never did have control of that. Now Falloon up to Baker. Baker 3-on-2 to Janney. Shot, and it hit the post. Here's Falloon. Not enough time to tee it up. Gives to Baker. In front, and that one hit the leg of Dan Kesmer. He'll play it up for Germán Tida. Here come the Flames. Nylander just dumps it in. Calgary worn out after that shift.
Greg Janney just about a half inch or so from really putting the Sharks back into this one. Hit the goalpost.
Sharks have really turned up the tempo, but the Flames threatening a shot, not just missed. Zalewski all alone and had a side to pick. Couldn't find net. 3-1 Calgary, but the Sharks are coming on here in the middle parts of this second period.
They are coming on, and they are putting on some pressure, but they still have to be cognizant of the fact of some defense. A goal by Calgary would take all that momentum away from them.
This will be icing, and it'll come back down into the Calgary zone. The best sustained pressure by the Sharks all night. We'll be back.
He's got a lot of experience, and that's invaluable when it comes to postseason play.
Friesen's first ever playoff goal was unassisted. Sure he saved the puck. First ever playoff goal. Here's a turnover in the offensive zone. Fleury backhand. He almost got the rebound. Friesen hit by a stick, and there's going to be a penalty to Calgary. Now Urbe in the crease.
He leveled
Fleury.
Well, that's okay. Hey, this is a contact sport. You come in my crease, you're going to pay for it. And I think there's a penalty coming up from referee Rob Schick as Friesen was hauled down, but I don't think that was the penalty call. It came a little bit after that. And these two guys are having a few words. I'm sure they both respect each other a great deal, but Fleury's been a thorn in the side for Urbe in this whole series, and obviously tonight with the 3 goals, so he came sailing through, and Urbe gave him a pretty good shot. We got a cross-checking penalty here to Mike Sullivan.
9:06 time of the call. It's been given to us as holding. Doesn't matter.
Here's the play in front. Fleury on the backhand lets it go, but you see Irby's got the stick on the ice between the legs, and there was the penalty call right there as Jeff Friesen ready to jump on that loose puck. And here's the play in front. There's Friesen going. Sullivan bringing him down and getting the penalty. Look at right there. Look, there's Fleury going through. The whistle had gone, and I guess Fleury just trying to be a nuisance. And Irby saw him and give him a little tap.
It is a hold against Sullivan. Sharks go to the power play. Boy, could they use one right now. They've got 5 power play goals in the series as Zalapsky sends it back down to the Sharks' blue line. Miller, Dahlin, and Friesen on the forward line. Right now the Sharks trying to decide how to get it out of their zone. Ronnie Stern trying to take advantage of their indecision. And it comes out as Peterson takes control. Here's Ulf Dahlin as they crisscross in the neutral zone. Friesen stayed onside. I don't know what that pass was intended to do. It looked like he was trying to get it to Ozolinsh. And they miscommunicated. Off the boards it comes. Now Friesen to Ozolinsh. Sandus waiting out Joe Otto. Shoots it right into the body of Otto. Comes down to Miller. Kevin Miller waiting. Down low to Dahlin. Dahlin turns away from Chason. Now works his usual magic along the boards. Otto comes in.
Why they want to get it to his Ravsky with that big shot from the point.
Well, a whistle just as the puck came free from Rob Schick. And they'll face it off in that Calgary zone, but that burns some valuable power play time for the Sharks. Now Stern jawing with Friesen.
Well, Friesen's got to get out of there because he's a lot more valuable to his team than Stern. And Calgary could lose Stern, no big loss, but last place in the world that the Sharks want Friesen to be is in the penalty box. There you see the battle in front of the net right there. That's where probably the whole thing started as Stern gives Friesen a pretty good shot. He was standing there, and then the play continued on, and they start jostling behind the net. There's that play earlier on there with Fleury getting in front of the net, and Arthur Zerbe giving a nice little hit there.
Well, Friesen, 4 playoff assists, ties him with Peterson for the club lead. So while that was his first goal, he's made a lot of contributions already. And now just his 4th ever playoff game, the youngest player in the NHL. Here's Whitney. Back to Ozolinsh. Just got it to Ravsky out of Fleury's reach. Whitney shot, saved by Kidd, and it's sat on the goal line. Here's Ravsky in close. Larionov misses with the backhand. Ozolinsh tipped by Larionov. Still free. Here's Ravsky, scores!
That's the guy you want to shoot the puck, Mike Ravsky. Look at the scramble in front of the net. Body's there, puck loose, Whitney with the puck. But it comes to Ravsky. He's got a devastating shot, and he just powers that one through everybody. Look at Larionov with a nice to Ravsky over on that other side. Tees it up, no mistake in the net, and the Sharks have scored 2 goals to bring it to 3-2. Here it is. Here's Ravsky right there, and that's just sheer power. And hits the back of the net and came out all the way to the blue line, almost.
Make no mistake about it, that was a huge goal. If Calgary gets the next goal, it's 4-1, and it starts to look bleak for Game 4. But now the Sharks have some momentum in their corner for the first time since Game 2. But they have to be careful! Kennedy's shot just deflecting wide. Here's Nieuwendyk, and that's tipped by Cruz. Even on the power play goal, they flirted with Theoren Fleury up near the blue line. He just missed another breakaway on that last sequence, but that's history. The Sharks are back to within a goal. Nieuwendyk throwing it behind the net. Good job by Baker to tie up his man, Paul Cruz, but Nieuwendyk's got it off the boards again. Fights his way to the front. Penalty coming up as Irbe lunges out after the puck. It's still a live play. Still a live play. And a shot. That hit Kite, and he goes down. Jim Kite is injured, and the whistle finally blows. Kite went down instantly as he took the full brunt of that shot from the point.
It looks like he may be holding his shoulder there. He's the one who's going to get the penalty, and Joe Nieuwendyk just tries to power himself through into the corner, and boy, he's a tough guy to stop, and Kite grabbed a hold of him, and that's where the penalty came. But I think the Sharks, thinking that the whistle had gone or something, Irbe went charging into the corner of the rink, and the Sharks have to touch the puck before the whistle will go, and they kind of let up a little bit, and the Calgary Flames came pretty close to putting one in.
Baker and Kennedy having words now with the players milling around on the ice while Tommy Woodcock attends to Jim Kite, but Kite was instantly felled seemingly by that shot. A break in the action here. We'll be back on Sports Channel. Fleury out to the face-off circle with Baker as the Flames go to the power play for the 4th time in the game. They have one power play goal. That was Fleury's to open scoring at 9:08 of the first. Sharks have scored the last 2 goals of this game to erase a 3-0 deficit. Baker tossing it in the direction of Kevin Miller. And Miller getting in the way again. Now Zalapski sends it in. Irbe settling it, fires it up the boards for Kevin Miller. Swept back to Rafchi, and he'll get rid of it.
That's where the defenseman can help you. Irbe, the puck coming around. Irbe comes, stops it. Defenseman comes in, gets a hold of it, and able to shoot it down. 1:10 left in Kite's penalty.
Zalapski to the corner. Jay Moore is there as Cronin out on the ice for one of his rare appearances. Did a good job to cut off Nylander. Now they battle forward out of the corner. Frees it, sends it to the line. Chason gloved it down. And now Larionov with it. He'll dump it in. Igor picking up one of the assists on Rafchi's goal. Whitney got the other as Larionov follows the play. Housley behind the net, tied up by Igor. And Jay Moore will just back into the neutral zone with it with 40 seconds left in the Calgary power play. They lead 3-2. 6:52 left, second period. And the puck up in the crowd in the Shark zone.
Helped this team and settle them down a little bit, and they eventually got themselves back into this game.
Couldn't agree more. That was excellent timeout management by Constantine as the Sharks pick up the loose puck. It's fired up the ice by Miller. The Sharks were looking for a penalty there as Miller was tripped. 13 seconds left to go as Housley comes across center ice. He'll send it in. Back over to Reichel. Reichel leads it in the corner. This is Tedon. Behind the net. Kissio trying to turn from Kite over Miller. Now it comes up to Kite. And over to Baker. A 3-on-2 developing, but Kite will go to the bench. Our play is over as Baker breaks in, drops the pass. Here's Dahlin, bad angle, swings it around. And Tansel walking through the crease, couldn't get control. He still has it though. Tansel toward the net. Dahlin couldn't reach it. Now Baker. His stick held by Kissio, and Housley will get rid of it as the Flames, as soon as their power play ended, got in trouble again.
Couple of great scoring opportunities. Dahlin, Tansel, wrap around by Dahlin, almost went in, but great hustle by this line. Look at Dahlin coming around. He's got a defenseman all over him, and there's the wrap right there, just missing, and jumping into the play. Tansel comes around. He gets another shot on goal, and you take a look at it from another angle. There's the wrap right there, just missing the far post. Tansel in. He whips it around too. Calgary in trouble. Eventually ices the puck.
Dahlin looking over both shoulders as he gets set for the faceoff against the king of the faceoff circle, Joel Otto.
He doesn't lose too many.
Dahlin, good work, almost freed the puck up for Tansel, who had come back there. Otto now ahead for Nylander. He'll fire it in from center ice. Stern, good hustle to get to it first, but then played it right to Tansel. Now Zalapski across for Frank Musil. 5:20 left in the second period. period of contrast indeed as Fleury went wild early, and then the Sharks recovered to turn this back into a close game. Nylander unmolested as he came through the neutral zone. Not a very good dump in though. Now Zalapski taking his time to Otto. Tried to poke it ahead for Nylander. It came off Friesen right to him. Drop pass for Stern. Stern trying to shake off Ozelins. Sandis, good body check, but Otto there after the loose puck. He falls down, and Rafsky behind the net for the Sharks. Plays it off the glass into Housley. He flips it to the corner. Nylander there. Rafsky cuts off his path. Housley holds it in. Tried to float one in front. And Mike Rafsky settling the puck ahead to Janny. Janny with Balloon. Rafsky sends it into the zone. Now the Sharks will chase it down. Kesmer gets to it first. Janny into forecheck, but Housley plays it away from him to Ronnie Stern. Stern at center. He'll flip it in. Nieuwendyk on the ice. Herbe gets it around him and up to Jim Kite. Kite quickly to Janny. Janny dumps it in. Zalapski gave him a poke after he released the pass. Chase on back there as the Sharks change up. Intercepted by Makarov. Now Larionov. Now hit chase on. Drifts toward the net, but Zalapski has it. Zalapski had it knocked away by Whitney, but right to Joe Nieuwendyk. Nieuwendyk give it back to Whitney. Sharks up to Makarov. Tried to set up Larionov. A soft pass to chase on Red. Down low, Larionov held. Now Keitel on the boards. Jams it back to the corner. Makarov to Larionov. Whitney's in front. The pass to Moore. Shot. Saved by Kidd. And it'll go no further. 3:26 left in the second period. Sharks still coming on, but down by a goal. It's a game, folks. 3-2. Second period here with the Sharks trying to take a 3-1 lead in the series. Pass for Kennedy, and his backhand miss. Sends it right back in front. Comes to the line where Musil dumps it in. All Cruz checked by Ozelin, still with the puck. Herbe trying to collect it. Cruz sat on Herbe, but the puck's coming back the other way as Makarov crosses center ice. Gives to Whitney. Ray Whitney, and he'll have to back out of the zone. He just lost control.
Going to hold up because Makarov was way standing in front of the net, so Whitney has to waste time so Makarov can get out of there.
Peterson knocks this down with the glove to Dahlin. Wolf Dahlin across the blue line with Friesen and Miller. Miller, good check on Dahl. Now on the far board side, a couple of players on top of it, Dahlin and Musil. And the whistle blows with 2:34 left in the period.
Puck is dumped in. You see exactly what Kevin Miller did. And you see Ulf Dahlin. Most of the guys in the National Hockey League will use those white laces, but he seems to get his skates a lot tighter when he uses those waxed yellow laces. And I guess that's what they do in Sweden.
Well, Johan Garpenlov actually started that, and Dahlin picked up on it. And now Michael Sikora, who's rehabbing from surgery, also has yellow laces.
Yeah, there's no rule in the National Hockey League of saying what color your laces should be. So
no, and there shouldn't be.
There's a couple of colors I wouldn't recommend. I guess white and yellow are okay.
Here's Miller behind the net for Dahlin. He's occupied by Kesmer. Now Kelly Kissio checked by Friesen. And it comes to Theoren Fleury. He of the natural hat trick tonight. Here's Fleury on the drop pass from Housley. Still on top of the puck. Gives off to Kesmer. Herbe with the glove save. And that one was dangerous because of the traffic in front of the San Jose net.
But Arturs Herbe came way out to make that save. But we talk about Theoren Fleury. He's got the puck. He controls. He draws people to him, and when that happens, there's other people on the ice that are open. And right there, Fleury with the puck dumps it off. Shot coming through, but Arturs Herbe plays that very smartly by coming off. There's the dump by Herbe, or by Fleury. There's the shot. Kesmer's right there. Herbe must have saw him, and rather than have him to get enough time to deflect it or grab the puck if it fell at his feet, Herbe decided to come out and challenge him, and that was the right move.
There's the shot totals in the game. There's a shot, and the puck in front of the net. Herbe got a pad on Sullivan's bid. Here's Otto, centered. They score. Ronnie Stern. And it's 4-2.
It's the basic takeaway in the zone. Defenseman has the puck. Instead of just driving it up and out of the zone, you try to get a little bit too fancy in there, and the way the Calgary Flames forecheck, it's going to cost you. Here's the puck in front. You're going to see possession right there briefly by Ozolinsh. He stripped the puck by Joel Otto. He comes around, and Stern right in the middle, stick on the ice. Perfect pass by Joel Otto in the net, and the Flames make it 4-2.
Well, a mix-up there because Baker released Otto, then Ozolinsh released him, and Otto had a clear path around the back of the net.
The thing is, you have possession of that puck briefly. You got to drive that thing around the boards and hopefully out of the zone. And you don't do that, and Calgary's just too good of a team to give them an opportunity like that.
Herbe over to Ozolinsh. Otto and that guy Mike Sullivan with the assist. Sullivan now with 8 points in the playoffs.
He was tied for the lead in the National Hockey League coming into this game with 7 points. Who would have figured?
Stern couldn't control it. Janney trying to reach out and get it to Friesen. Balloon tried to chop it up the boards. Now it's Friesen. We started this comeback by the Sharks. His first ever playoff goal. A minute left in the second period. Here's Joe Nieuwendyk. Drops it for Germán Titov. Titov trying to go around more. Jason does the job. He was trailing there for a rebound to Darren Fleury. Behind the play, Titov hammers more. Penalty coming up to Calgary. Here's Dahlin for Rathje. And it's saved by Kidd. The rebound will go to Fleury, but the whistle's gone. Penalty coming up to the Flames, Germán Titov.
I don't think he knew the referee was that close. I think that what Titov thought was that referee Rob Schick was way up the ice and wasn't going to see what he did, but he just clearly give Jason Moore a wrap way behind the play, and the referee had his eyes on that all the way, and really not the kind of a penalty you take in the playoffs. And this team is up by a couple. Sharks are going to get the power play, and faceoff's going to be in the zone. Here's the goal. You see the puck. Ozolinsh has it for a second. Otto jumps in on it, and as soon as he gets possession, those Flames start going for the net. Nice pass to Stern, and he makes no mistake on the play.
Second goal of this playoff year for Stern. There's Titov in the penalty box for tripping at 19-20. Well, in the first two games, the Sharks were trailing on several occasions, and when they gave up a goal, they just seemed determined to go right back down and get it back. Here's a chance to do that.
Not a lot of time to work on this one. Only 40 seconds in regulation. Obviously, they've got 2 minutes to work with, but they certainly would like to get this goal before they go in for the intermission.
Otto wins the draw into the corner for Zalapsky. Rathje couldn't get to it in time.
Face-off won by Joel Otto.
Otto. Herbe a little pressure, but Rangers got rid of it in time, and now Whitney comes across the zone and out and over to Makarov. Was a little behind him, but he did a nice job to gather it in. Ozolinsh, though, couldn't stay on side at the blue line, and the power play breaks down right there with 15.2 seconds left to go here in the period.
You see what Calgary's doing. They're lining up right across the red line. The puck carrier can't go through them, obviously, so the guys that are skating, they have to hold up at the blue line, because if they keep going, they're going to go offside like they did then. So what Makarov has to do is basically just dump it in, and those guys that are skating to jump on it quick in the corners and make the play from there.
This will come just outside the Calgary zone.
Let's see if Otto wins this one. I don't think he's lost a draw this whole game.
That one came to Ozolinsh, so we'll give Whitney credit for that one. Here's Ozolinsh. Up the middle, Larionov shot wide. Zalapsky up the boards for Dahl. He runs into Ozolinsh. And now Dahl will send it down as the buzzer sounds to end the second period. Here in the third period, that's the leftover from his minor penalty. And the Sharks can get one back here on the power play if they can get organized in time. Here's Miller, and it's poked away by Sullivan. Now Rathje, nice pass for Dahlin. Somebody was offside on the left wing.
Well, Dahlin was over the blue line as Rathje was carrying the puck. Dahlin up over the blue line, offside.
Well, tonight's game story here in Game 4. Flurry, the natural hat trick for number 14. Jeff Friesen with his first playoff goal. And the Sharks, well, yeah, they need to put it into overdrive here in the third period. They had a strong third period in the regular season at Calgary, a game that highlighted by Jeff Friesen's 2-goal performance. Sharks won that game. That was their lone win against the Flames. Rathje lost his edge at the side. Sullivan takes it back, but now Friesen will recover. So just do what you did in that game, and who knows? Could come back in this one. Sharks down by a couple.
It was only so easy.
Here's Joel Otto, and he's in no hurry. Now the Sharks, who are in a hurry. Miller through the middle for Friesen, couldn't bring it in. Here's Dahlin. Sharks finally get the power play set up. Oak behind the net. Drops it in the corner. Chason did a good job there. Now it comes back to Dahlin. They'll go behind the net again. 15 seconds left on the power play. Dahlin to Peterson. Back to Dahlin. Oh, tees it up. Save by Kidd. The rebound there, but Friesen can't get to it. Chason's in his way and in his face.
The idea is to take the shot on the goal, but you obviously got to get some traffic in front of there, and Steve Chason was just looking around for any kind of a white jersey that was standing there, and Friesen was a couple of feet away. Here's Dahlin with the puck, and you see Friesen, he's there, but he's a little too far out. Miller takes himself out of position right there. Even if the puck comes to him, I don't know what he's going to do with it, but Dahlin shoots the puck. Kidd makes the save, and then you see actually four Calgary Flames standing in front of their goalkeeper to protect them.
Sharks need to generate some shots here in the third period, Pete, because quite frankly, Trevor Kidd has not come up with a big game in this series. Has really shown some of the shakiness that maybe one would expect from a player in the playoffs for the first time. Here's the goals by period, and in the third period, Calgary with overwhelming domination in this series, 7-1, outscoring the Sharks in the third period. 3 of those came on Thursday night. And then a couple came when Calgary forced overtime in game 2. Only to have the Sharks win that one on Dahlin's goal, and Fleury will step in the face-off circle against Craig Janney. Sharks win the draw. Falloon, and that deflects into the corner. All Cruz, and the power play is over as Tito jumps on.
Falloon, Janney, and Baker, the front line here for the Sharks, as Janney is getting all his playing time over on that left side.
Pat Falloon up for center ice. Janney couldn't knock it down. Here's Phil Housley. Advancing this toward Falloon, but out of his reach and back to Phil Housley. Cruz couldn't control that. It went off his skate down the ice. This will be icing against the Flames. Boss won't give you a 3-hour lunch break to watch an afternoon game? Well, no problem. Come home to Sports Channel Light. A 1-hour recap of the afternoon's A's or Giants game shown that same night, hosted by Glenn Kuiper Light. Monday at 7 p.m. Giants face the Cubs on Sports Channel Light.
Kevin Constantine would like something to happen here. Get themselves back into this game. They don't want to open this thing up too early here with 18 minutes to go in this period, but they can get one here, and still got a long way to go, but they're going to have to generate some shots and some offense here in the Calgary zone.
Here's Ozolinsh driving the net. Couldn't get the shot as it drifted through the front of the crease. Now Nylander with it for Calgary. He starts the movement, and up for Titov. Reichel to the net. Titov holds off the check of Ozolinsh, then plays it out over the blue line. Golapski pressured, but skates away from Whitney. Now up for German Titov. Titov drop pass, Reichel left side, got it wide. Titov on the rebound for Nylander. Nylander checked by Larionov. Igor pushing it forward. Nice move to get it around Reichel. Now Makarov back for Larionov. But Sergei.
This line just doesn't have the jump that it usually has. Notice they're not skating and giving it to each other, making that puck do the work for them.
Peterson's rush out of the back interrupted. Here's Fleury. Sets up. Saved by Irving. Now Housley. He'll throw it across the ice Kesmer will pick it up off the boards. Down low, Rathje picks the puck off the boards instead of Fleury reaching it behind the net. Here's Dahlin with Miller. Flames get 3 people, 4 people back. Dahlin keeps on going. Oath behind the net, throws it at the net. And Trevor Kidd stayed with Dahlin on that play and was able to take it off his stick. We'll be right back on Sports Channel. So bring a friend or two and watch the Sharks on the big screen here with a couple thousand of your closest friends.
Monday night.
Yes. 5:30, doors open. We'll probably be on that jumbo screen. Friesen touching it up behind Urbe. That's going to be icing against the Calgary Flames. Now there's Phil Housley, who kind of suffers in the headlines thanks to guys like Fleury and Nieuwendyk, but this guy has had a pretty good playoff already for Calgary.
Well, you know, he's one of 6 millionaires on this Calgary team. They got 6 guys making over $1 million, and he's got a lot of talent. He's got a couple of assists in this game so far, and when you give him the time and the skating room back there, he can be very effective. And the last couple of games, the Sharks just not have put a lot of pressure on people like Housley, and certainly Fleury, another one, and certainly Joe Nieuwendyk has really added a huge spark to this team since he came back.
Housley's had a lot of success. Here's a chance in front, and Kevin Miller was hit by a stick in the face. He is down and writhing in pain as Rob Schick blows the play dead, but I don't think Schick saw what happened to Kevin Miller.
Well, there was a scramble in front of the net. The Sharks almost directed this one in, but some sticks flying up, and I don't see any indication of anything from the referee Rob Schick as far as a penalty is concerned. And my puck might have been up in the air and guys were swatting at it, but Miller took that blow right in the face, and he's being attended to right now by Tom Woodcock. Let's see what happens on this play as Ulf Dahlin on the face-off. Now the puck's going to be put towards the net. Here's Miller with it right there. He's going to try and slip it to Dahlin, who does get his stick on the ice, but just was unable to get a piece of that one. And over on the left hand of your screen, we're going to see what happens. There's Miller. There's Housley on him right there, and I think, well, I don't know whether Housley, when he went to lift up Miller's stick, it may have caught him in the face. There's the other look. Dahlin to Miller. Miller gets the puck down. He's going to try and give it back to Dahlin, but he's all tied up by Fleury. And I think it was Housley that got in there and lifted that stick of his up into the face of Kevin Miller. Miller's gone into the locker room for repair.
No penalty on the play. Calgary leading 4-2, and Kevin Constantine and the Sharks facing a situation after this, if they lose, of having to win the series on a road game at some point, because Calgary would get home ice advantage back.
I wonder what Kevin's going to do, if he's going to shorten his bench, which is quite probable, but if he's going to put somebody in there. Guys like Nazarov and Hodges have not been out there, so it's very difficult to put those 2 guys in the action right now when they're not warm and they're not up to speed as far as the action is concerned. So that's a decision that Coach Constantine is going to have to make.
It's Andrei Nazarov on the Sharks bench, along with Jeff Hodgers. They haven't seen any duty tonight.
Hodgers is the kind of a guy you drop it, he'll just keep going after everybody. But Nazarov's a big guy, 230 pounds. You know, those guys stiffen up. It takes a little while for them to get going. So we'll look to see if Kevin Constantine calls any of those guys to take a shift or two.
15:52 left in the third period. Calgary leading 4-2. 3 of those goals by Theron Fleury. Crowd reacting to Ulf Dahlin being upended. Zalapski losing it. Dahlin plays it ahead to Tansel. Chris Tansel spun around by Chason, held in at the point. Kite sends it behind the net. Stern gets to it, but can't get it out. Moore on the boards. Dahlin as Fleury bumped into him and fell. Now Dahlin trying to advance along the back wall there, but Zalapski holding him up. Dahlin still controlling it. Now 2 Sharks collide. Tansel and Moore, and the puck comes out.
What a job, though, with Calgary is doing. They got 1 guy on the puck carry, and Calgary Flame players are just picking up Friesen in front, picking up Tansel, just standing in front of them and just not allowing them to move, just holding them up.
Here's Kissio. As hasn't seen a whole lot of ice time tonight. Nieuwendyk. Bissio back to the corner. Now Nieuwendyk behind the net. Rafji trying to contain him. Shot, save, rebound, and Baker gives it right back, but it comes out as Sullivan couldn't control it. Shows you the power of Joe Nieuwendyk. Rafji did everything he could to hold him back, but Nieuwendyk still got a quality shot.
Sure did. The guy had that size on his back. He was able to, I don't know, how bad could his back be if he can carry a big guy like that?
Kennedy up for Reichel. He gloves it down. Rafji backs in now. The shot will deflect up in the seats. And the faceoff will be in the Shark zone, I believe, as it deflected off Rafji.
26-18, the shots on goal in favor of the Calgary Flames with 14:07 left in regulation as Joe Nieuwendyk taking a rest. Missed the first 2 games of this series. Questionable for game 3. Back in pain, but they got him out there. And boy, I'll tell you what an inspiration he's been. And you're going to see Nieuwendyk and Rafji all over him, trying to push him, but Nieuwendyk just reaches right around and gets himself in a good spot to let a pretty good shot go towards the Shark net. Joe, when you had a bad back, you weren't supposed to lift up anything heavy.
I guess
he was carrying Rafji there, wasn't he?
It's feeling awfully good today. That's been an interesting matchup all year when they played, Rafji and Nieuwendyk. Of course, Nieuwendyk scored that hat trick, and Rafji was victimized a couple of times, and a lot was made of one particular goal in which Nieuwendyk made a beautiful move to score, and then Rafji bounced back quite nicely in the final regular season game, and then the 2 playoff games at Calgary, and now Nieuwendyk has reemerged again as the rookie or second-year player. Goes back and forth with one of the top forwards in the game. Here's the shot totals by game. Sharks have certainly been generating shots, a whole pile of them in game 2, but they're well under average tonight. Puck inside the Shark zone, comes back to Ozilin. Now Makarov for Lariana. Igor wide to the right side. Trailing is Makarov. He'll pick it up. Sergei still with it. Shot and hits skate. Comes back to Makarov. Backhand into the slot. Ozilin to Lariana. Save by Kidd. Rebound, and Reichel will play it out.
Good quality scoring opportunity right there for Igor Lariana.
Jay Moore taking out Kennedy. Held in by Housley as Nylander has it on the far side. Housley shot tipped by Reichel. Urbe recovered. Now Makarov gets it across for Ozilin. Sanders at center. Nice give for Whitney. This line has been out a while, and Whitney turns it over. Gave it to Robert Reichel.
The line was out, you mentioned, for a long time, but they did have a good scoring opportunity. Igor Larionov looked around, let a shot go, and probably the most difficult save of the hockey game right there by Trevor Kidd.
We pause with 12:43 left in the third period. It's Calgary 4, the Sharks 2. Here's Dolan, right off the faceoff. Great job by Dan Kesmer as he just knocked it away ahead of the shot. Here's Rafji trying to center it. Comes off a skate right to Theron Fleury. Fleury with Titov. Fleury's shot saved by Urbe. Big rebound high in the air. Tansel with it, and he'll get it out of the zone, but behind the play, the net is off.
Urbe Titov went sliding into that net, but every time Fleury gets that puck, I'm sure that every guy on the ice for the Sharks suddenly pays extra special attention to him because he always creates something, and on this particular play, he gets the puck inside his blue line, and he can skate. He's got good speed. He's got Urbe with him, hoping for maybe a leak through somewhere, and comes Rafji, who picked up Titov, the guy coming back. He just stayed with him, push him into the net. There's Urbe coming out. No room for Fleury, but he nevertheless lets the shot go. Urbe stops it, and the face-off coming outside the blue line.
24 saves for Urbe tonight.
Fleury, the leading shot guy for Calgary coming into this game with 12 so far in the playoffs. Pat Falloon was the leader for the Sharks here. He's had 11 shots coming into this hockey game.
Falloon on the ice now with Janney and Baker. Here's Pat Falloon through center ice. Puts the move on Chiasson. Poked away by Kidd. Falloon almost walked in. Just couldn't release the stick at the last moment to get the shot off. Baker tied up by Otto. Falloon falls on the board. Zalapski on top of him. Janney trying to escape from the clutches of Joel Otto. Here's Sullivan ahead for Nylander. He'll get across center and send it into the Shark zone. Darren Fleury has 3 goals for Calgary. Ronnie Stern the other. Friesen and Rathje had scored for the Sharks. 4-2 Calgary. Here's Falloon now as he'll come out with Janney and Baker. 3-on-3. Janney in the high slot shot. Blocker saved by Kidd. Tedov moves to the puck. And German Tedov will skate it up to center ice. And the Flames go offside as Nylander was already in the zone by the time the puck came in.
Nylander is one of those Flames who did not play a lot. At broken wrist and only had about 5 or 6 games during the regular season. So he's probably not in 100% game shape yet, and he's getting a lot of ice time so far in this series.
He didn't look very good at all in game 1 and has steadily looked a lot better. Well, still plenty of time for the Sharks here. 11:08 left in the third. They're down by a couple.
Ray Whitney playing center now, and Igor Larionov has switched over to the left side with Sergei Magarov on the right side. And really nice to see this line get something.
Rathje paired with Ozolinsh defensively. Sandis will be careful of Nieuwendyk, and now Whitney with it. Whitney will go wide to the left against Housley. Here's Makarov, centers it, poked at by Ozolinsh. That's the best he could do, and Kidd has a fairly easy stop there.
You know, you watch Calgary and how they play defensively, and I'll tell you, they're so disciplined that, you know, one of the Shark players has the puck in the corner of the rink. He obviously is going to have a Calgary Flame on him, but he looks around for somebody to give it to, and every guy wearing a Shark uniform out there is covered. There's just that great defensive coverage, and it's very frustrating. You see guys on top of guys, and that puck just rolling harmlessly to Trevor Kidd to stop it with 10:47 left here in the third period. Couple of 14s taking the draw here. Whitney against Fleury.
That's the legendary Jim Bearcat Murray, the Flames trainer. Looks like he's got some semblance of a playoff beard going. Nieuwendyk hauled down as he tried to break away through the neutral zone. Now the Flames go offside as Fleury was trapped in the Shark zone.
Well, Joe Nieuwendyk, what a year he's had against the San Jose Sharks. 6 of the 17 goals for the Calgary Flames against the Sharks this year were scored by Joe Nieuwendyk, and he missed the last 2.5 weeks of the season. Hurt himself against the Sharks in the late season drive, but he looks like he's 100%, and I think he's been the difference in his last 2 games. Not only what he's put up on the board, but how he's brought out the best in the rest of the Flames by his presence in the lineup.
This crowd trying to keep the Sharks in this thing by offering what they can. Here's Nieuwendyk, throws it in front. Now Makarov with it to Ozolinsh. Sandis Ozolinsh ahead for Whitney. Whitney trying to get to the middle. Housley doing a pretty good job against Whitney. Here's Nieuwendyk. Rathje trying to get back. The pass to Tedov. Off the post, and it's in the crease. Rathje will tuck it under Hervé, and the Flames threatening there to make it a 3-goal lead, but Tedov could only find the pipe.
Well, he had the empty net, hit the goalpost, but what a great pass by Joe Nieuwendyk right on Tedov, who's coming down the ice. Great speed. Nieuwendyk spots him. Look at this pass right on the stick. Draws Artur Zerbe. Had the net, just had to slip it in. Instead, hits the post. Puck out in front. Mike Rathje, realizing he can't do much, just shoves it under Artur Zerbe. Pass from Nieuwendyk. Here comes Tedov. Here's the draw. Look what he's got to shoot at right there. A little half-inch over left side as you see the reaction from Tedov as he knows he had it. Goalpost got in the way of that.
There's Titov, a native of Moscow. In the league a couple of years, it's 30. Here's Reichel, scores!
Right from the face-off. After the draw, you're the team who wins the face-off. You have control of the puck, and things aren't too happy over on the Sharks side, obviously. Here you're going to see the draw coming back to the point. Chason's going to let the shot go, and Herbe's going to kick it out, and then he's trying to jump on it. He tries to poke it, and he just takes himself completely out of the play on that one. And Reichel's going to pick it up. See, here's the stop by Herbe. He's trying to get the puck and use the stick by grabbing it out of danger, but he misses it. Now he's way gone to the other side. Reichel up with the loose puck and no problem putting it in. 5-2 Flames.
Well, that one really hurt. Now it's a 3-goal deficit for the Sharks. Moore sends the backhand deep. Cancel pressure. The Flames can really play the clock more than anything now. Here's Fleury. And it's taken from him by Peterson. Fleury assisted on that Reichel goal. Chason got the other. Reichel's second of the playoff. Loose puck, and Kid will make no mistake about that with Dahlin close by. 9:22 left in the third, and the Sharks have to bear down here. Try and stay in this game for as long as they can.
Well, you can see the respect that the Calgary Flames have for Jeff Fries, and the puck was way back in the Shark zone, and Ronnie Stern didn't worry about where the puck was, where anything else was going. He just stayed with Jeff Fries and all the way down to the other end, and that's so much respect that they have for the young 18-year-old rookie for the Sharks, as Friesen picks up his first National Hockey League playoff goal here tonight. But Sharks don't have nearly enough. 5-2 with a little over 9 minutes left here in regulation.
Flames players after the win Thursday talking about the huge amount of pressure that they felt lifted from their shoulders. The Calgary fans and media really giving them a lot of heat after losing the 2 home games, and all the stories written again about how this team can't get out of the first round. And that win on Thursday really was a huge breath of fresh air for the Flames, and you can see it in their play tonight. They are playing as a loose and much more confident hockey team than in the first 2 games. Sharks need to contend with that, though, and make their own adjustments. Here's Sullivan, and Ozelin defending well against him. Kennedy picked up on the boards by Kite. Here's Jamie Baker for Janney. Janney will dump it in, but it's taken by Musil. Bounced off Malone right to Cruz. Here's Kennedy, and he'll just dump it in and turn away as Calgary changes up. Sharks a little careless in their own end, but Ozelin will get it back now. Balloon across center ice. Poke check there by Otto. Now here's Cruz. Sharks have it again. Calgary in the midst of a line change, but the Sharks unable to take advantage. Here's Balloon, a shot saved by Kidd. And Kesmer with the rebound.
Don't give up shots like that anytime. Let him shoot from the blue line. Trevor Kidd had his sights on that one all the way.
Stern shot saved by Herbe. He battled for a rebound, but Arturs had it. 8:16 left in the third. It's 5-2 Calgary on Sports Channel. All the creativity coming out with the Sharks fans getting
painting faces here
into playoff fever again. If the Sharks lose this game, there will be a game 6 here on Wednesday. That will be assured. Here's Peterson sending it in. Whitney can't bat it down off the glass. Joe Nieuwendyk. He'll go wide to the right side against Rafchi. Makarov also back there to help support Rafchi, and they get the job done, the 2 of them, as it's dumped in.
Look at the Sharks coming out, 2 of them coming out. 4 Calgary Flames are back there, and you just can't buck those kind of odds. Calgary, a very disciplined defensive hockey team, and very effective tonight.
Dahlin Ahead to Tansel. Gets to the blue line and no further. Now Kite ahead for Dollar. Gets it away from Fleury. Now dumps it in front. Hit Tansel, then a leg trip by Housley, but it goes uncalled. More bumps with Reichel. And Phil Housley has it come to him and across to Fleury. Up the middle. Here's Reichel. And he slides into Hervé. Puck is loose behind the net, and Jay Moore has it. Ahead to Dahlin. He's at the end of his shift and sends it in. Then he gets tripped by Fleury as he turned toward the bench. Aaron Fleury takes every advantage to do something to interfere with the other team whenever he can, whenever he's not scoring. Otto shot wide. Otto, the steal, sends it across. Cruz gets to it. Now at Rathje's feet, Baker takes it. 5-2 Calgary leading. Sharks trying to fashion a comeback late here. Balloon poked it aside, but right into the path of Sheldon Kennedy. Kennedy turns away from traffic. The middle opens up, lets a shot go that Hervé sends to the corner. Cruz gets to the puck, but it comes to Falloon. At Falloon, poke check by Chason.
Trying to beat a defenseman one-on-one. You're not going to beat a quality defenseman in the National Hockey League on a one-on-one. So everything's becoming an individual effort now for the Sharks with 5.5 to go.
Here's Lariana. Stops up, gives to Makarov. Scores!
Well, there's still life in the Sharks. Here they come down as Igor Larionov with the puck. Sergei Makarov getting it, going wide. Ray Whitney took a defenseman with him, but Larionov, Makarov, and here they come in, and in that short side, Makarov tucks it home, and the Sharks have pulled it within 2. Here's the pass. Makarov going in, gets the step on Kelly Kissio, and makes no mistake in putting it in. Look at that nice short pass. Makarov in the hole, coming in. There's the shot, just off kid and off the post and into the net to make it a 5-3 hockey game.
Larionov and Peterson the assist. And now 5:12 left. The Sharks need 2 to tie. Zalapski, he'll just push it ahead and back to Tom Peterson. This is Larionov to Kite. Karov had trouble with it. Now it goes deep into the Shark zone. Mike Sullivan chasing it down. He and Kite arrive at about the same time. Now Peterson. Tom Peterson. Larionov gets it back, and it goes deep as the Sharks will change up. 4:40 left. 5-3 Calgary. Here's Rathje. Hold off Sullivan, gets it into the zone. Kidd settling it behind the Calgary net. And Kesmer kind of walking it out and then flips it up the middle. A race for it. Rathje back there. Stern blocked. Rathje's clear. Now behind the net. It's dished in front by Ruendijk. Fowler gets it back on this wing. Up for Friesen out of his reach. Now Housley losing it for a moment to Friesen. Here's Jeff Friesen out of the corner. And Kidd had some trouble with it, but had the support there as Nylander will clear it down, or Chason rather. 3:47 left in the third period. And that's how far away the Calgary Flames are from tying up this series. Baker tried to find Falloon up the ice. Here's Pat with it now, across for Janney, but Zalapski got in the way of that. Kite will get back. This will be icing against the Calgary Flames with 3:27 left in the third period. Sharks trailing by 2 here on Sports Channel.
Well, all stops here.
Peterson shot. Glove save by Trevor Kidd. Well, that's a good start.
You notice who's in front of the net, Jason Moore. So when those shots are coming from the point, everybody's going to go for the net, including Jay Moore. Got to get something going here. And obviously, winning the faceoff's important. They got Janny out there, Jamie Baker, and Pat Balloon up front. Peterson and Jay Moore. The faceoff coming back, and there's Kidd. See the sights he's got. He's got clear view of that one all the way, and Moore, the defenseman, trying to get in there looking for something, but Calgary doing a good job of keeping those people away.
Well, now's when Trevor Kidd needs to come through for Calgary. He's going to face some pressure here, undoubtedly, from the Sharks. And Fleury and Baker, a little premature there. I guess Baker was the one guilty, at least in the opinion of Scapanella. Peterson across. Balloon's one-timer. He didn't get good wood. And then a collision at the side as Dahl, Moore, and Kidd all came together. And it's going to be a penalty to Jay Moore as Trevor Kidd is shaken up on the play.
He ran over Trevor Kidd, and that's what Kevin Constantine wanted. Somebody going for the net and distracting the goalkeeper, Trevor Kidd. And I'll tell you, Jason Moore did a pretty good job of that one on the face-off. Kidd going out of the net, and I think Moore was just trying to get to the puck a little bit, and there was a collision back of the net, but enough of a hit to warrant a penalty from referee Rod Schick. As Bearcat Murray is on the ice attending to the Flames goalkeeper. Just getting a breather, I guess. I'm sure he'll be up in between those pipes in a minute or two.
And that looks to be the case.
Sometimes, you got to do a little thinking. You realize, okay, your team is up by a couple. You know that the San Jose Sharks right now are going to put all stops offensively, and look at that. Jay Moore is actually just trying to jump over him. I mean, Kidd was out of the net. Moore was trying to jump over and get to the guy who had the puck, and I guess maybe his knee caught Kidd on the back of the head or something, but that didn't look like a deliberate hit. It was just trying to do a jump. Got him in the head.
That's the first penalty of this third period for either team. Fleury, Titov hit the outside of the post with the one-timer, and Rathje sends it out. Zalapsky leaves it behind the net. Sharks send a couple of guys deep. They have to right now. They have to gamble at some point. Fleury for Nieuwendyk, and they go offside. 2:42 left in the third period.
Fleury going down, and got Joe Nieuwendyk with him. And one guy that's going to be jumping into the offense here is Sandis Ozolinsh. He got Friesen out there, good speed up front, and can get into the open. And Igor Larionov, the other forward up here, killing this penalty. But obviously, they're killing this penalty. Kevin Constantine want these guys to jump on there offensively and hopefully get a shorthanded goal.
Fleury wins the faceoff. This is Charlie Zalapsky. Ozolinsh trying to get it up the wing, can't. Now Rathje will give it a try. Fleury gloves that down. This is Housley. Titov behind the net, throws it over to Fleury. This is a game of keep away for Calgary as they're burning clock time. Sharks do get it back. Larionov up for Friesen. That was behind him. 55 seconds left in the Calgary power play. More importantly, though, 2 minutes left in the third period. Reichel. And Titov will just skate it up the wing. Housley passing it around to Zalapsky. If they get a goal here, it'll be by accident because they're just trying to keep it away from the Sharks. Reichel gave it a shot. He figured, why not? I scored like that a couple of minutes ago.
Just dumping it wide, skating, getting it in deep, getting a fresh line with a minute and 25 left in regulation.
Housley, and he's interrupted by Kite. Can't clear it. Sullivan. A shot, a save by Urbank, cleared by Kite. Larionov will get it out, but the Sharks need to control the puck. There's a minute 12 left here in the third period. They're down by a couple, and it Looks like this series is going to be all evened up in just a little over a minute.
I guess that's so much said about sleeping in your own bed.
I'm not sure if home ice advantage means anything anymore in the playoffs. After what happened last year in Detroit, and after what's happened here in the opening 4 games, Urbe's out of the net. Sharks have the extra skater on. The penalty's over. They need 2. Nolan tried to send it to the front. Kesmer plays it around. Rafchi at the point. Kidd with the save. He'll hold it there as Whitney took a swing at the loose puck for a moment. And there's 36 seconds left.
Well, the Sharks cannot call a timeout because they already have called their timeout. Mike Rathje with one of the goals in this game right now is everybody telling everybody to move over a little bit so we can sit down here. And, well, I guess stranger things have happened, but pretty huge if they can come back with 36 seconds and down by a couple of goals. And face-off is deep inside the Calgary Flame zone, and you guessed it, Fleury's out there to take the face-off for Calgary.
Well, unless a miracle occurs here, Urbe will have a little bit of a streak broken tonight. In the prior 2 times in the playoffs that he was pulled from a game, and it has happened twice, he came back to win the next game. That was Game 6 against Detroit when the Sharks were blown out 7-1, and then Game 4 against Toronto here when the Leafs won 8-3. Urbe was pulled for Jimmy Waite in both those occasions, came back the next game to win. He was pulled here Thursday, but it doesn't look like history will repeat itself, at least not on this occasion. Rathje to the corner. The Flames really doing a good job tying everybody up despite the odd man advantage. Makarov gets to it out of the corner. Here's Dahlin. Can't get his stick free. Now does. Or Whitney. Pass, and this is right to German Titov. He fans. Dahlin shot and scores!
Unfortunately, the clock is against them. Great hard work here by the Sharks. And look at Dahlin coming back. He strips the puck off Titov. The wheels, there's all kinds of people in front of Kidd, and he just shoots that puck towards the net. Here's Dahlin with a good comeback, stripping the puck from Titov, letting a hard shot go in the net, and it's a 5-4 game with 8 seconds left up on the clock.
Well, yes, the clock is against them, but earlier in this series, we saw how things can change quickly. In Game 1, the Sharks had a 1-goal lead with 5 seconds left. We thought there's no way Calgary can come back, and they almost tied it on the final tick of the clock. Timeout called by Calgary, and they'll discuss what they're going to do. So will the Sharks.
Yeah, well, you know, we've seen this back in Calgary when the Flames won the draw and dumped it in against the boards, and they almost got the tying goal. So obviously the situation here is A, win the draw, B, get it in as quickly as possible and shoot it towards the net. And I'm sure over on the Calgary side what they're trying to say is just tie up these guys, and if you do lose the draw, everybody on the ice just get in front. You can grab hold. You can't call 5 penalties here, so this is going to be an interesting 8 seconds.
The Sharks' most valuable player in the regular season, that man, Ulf Dahlin, has scored a goal in every game of this series. That was his 4th. Rathje got the assist at 19:51.
Baker's going to take the draw. It's interesting whether he goes ahead with it or whether he tries to draw it back to Friesen. And
Sharks trying to get it. Fleury will shoot it and score into the empty net. His 4th goal of the night. And insult to injury as Theoren Fleury ends any miracle last-second tie by the Sharks.
Well, he did that in 6 seconds. As what Baker was trying to do is tie up Fleury and have Jeff Friesen come in and pick up that loose puck and go with it. But puck bounced around in center ice. All the Sharks going ahead. So all Fleury did was that puck was laying loose. He just skated in and put it into the empty net for his 4th goal of this hockey game.